Warm welcome to the learners of Ayurveda on the behalf of L.N.Ayurvedic online tuitions, Hyderabad. It is an organization imparting coaching to the subject of Dravyaguna, specially preparing for PG entrance examinations, MD.MS.AYURVEDA examinations, Dravyaguna paper 1 and paper 2, along with the theory and practical orientation. Especially giving coaching for MD.MS.AYURVEDA entrance examinations. Apart from that, we are handling the online classes for Dravyaguna paper 1, paper 2 and MD Dravyaguna papers. Today in our episode we will come to know how to identify Aparajita classically when Aparajita twig is kept on examination table in practicals. Please see what is Aparajita. Criteria, Ternacea belongs to family Leguminosae. How Charaka classified this drug first of all? Is it not account to Charaka? It comes under Sirovinechunopaka Dasyamani, Sirovinechunopaka Dravya. And what are the classical characters? What are the different classical characters mentioned in different Nigantus? Our Nigantus have been mentioned different classical characters based on the Sanskrit language having a specific name. Is it not Aspota? What is Aspota? Because the Aparajita plant grows in different angles, different directions. That is why the name given Aparajita. Generally, a plant grows in a specific manner, but this plant grows in different directions. That is why the name given Aspota. So, based on this character, you can identify Aparajita. Next one, what is the other character? Aparajita, because it overcomes almost all the diseases. That is why the name given Aparajita. So, next, Neela Pushpi. What is Neela Pushpi? Flowers blue in color. Two varieties will be there. One with white variety, white flowers, another with Neela Pushpi, bluish flowers. Flowers are blue in color. Bhadra, having multifold actions that protects the entire system in the body, different systems in the body. Vishagni, having anti-toxic activity. Account Kaidevanigantu, it is an anti-toxic drug. So in case of Visha, in the system of Ayurveda, as a Vishagna Dravya, this plant can be used. Even flowers can be used, root can be used, flowers and root can be used. So having Vishahara Karma. Dadi Pushpika, like a Dadi having white color, the flowers white in color. That is why the name Dadi Pushpika is mentioned or framed. Now, next point, Gavachi resembles the shape of the Gonetra. Gavachi resembles the shape, the leaf, the flower, the leaf. Gavachi resembles the shape of Gonetra. Next, Mahanila. Blue color. The flowers are blue in color. The flowers are blue. Even in Sodala Nigantu mentioned as Mahanila because of its blue color flowers mentioned as Mahanila. Kinihi. Then Sweta having white flowers. Then Simha Pushpika. Simha Pushpa. Simhakara. See Simhakara Pushpa. That is why the name given Simha Pushpa. How far these are names are correct means practically when you are applying these names practically almost correct. Now Vishnu Kranta offered to Lord Vishnu. That is why this plant also popular by name Vishnu Kranta. But Vishnu Kranta speaking in the sense another plant will be there. Vishnu Kranta offered to Lord Vishnu. Sweta Pushpi flowers white in color. Even in Dhanvantra Nigantu mentioned as Sweta Pushpa. Sweta Pushpi. Because this is the reference from Dhanvantari Nigantu. Flowers white in cover. Flowers white in color. Gokarnika. Next Giri Mallika. This flower generally, this plant in the sense grows generally on its own accord even in mountain area. That is why it is called as a Giri Mallika. Being how the flowers are white generally like jasmine, it grows in mountain area. That is why the name given Giri Mallika. So Pushpa, flower is beautiful having multifold actions. Then one more important, Giri Karni grows in higher altitude. Giri Karni means what? Grows in higher altitudes. So these are the some of the important classical characters helps for identification of the Aparajita when Aparajita twig kept on our examination table in practical, Dravyaguna practicals. Yoni Pushpi, account Nigan to others, this is the name you mentioned. Flowers resemble the clitoris, is it not? So, based on their experience in olden days, our acharyas having comparison with some other material, some other form, given the names for the purpose of identification. Today, botanically, even if you are watching medicinal botany, the shapes framed by our acharyas are one and same. Only the terminology differs. The terminology differs. In this episode, you can understand what is Aparajita, how to identify Aparajita. Generally, 30 samples will be there, 15 dry samples and 15 wet samples will be there. When dry samples are there, you are supposed to write the botanical name, family name, and important classical characters. According to question, you are supposed to answer. That is a different issue. Generally speaking, what are the classical characters framed in Ayurveda? Generally, being a BAMS pattern person, first of all, we should be in a position to understand what is mentioned in our classical science. Then you have to go for the modern science, how modern science gives additional information for confirmation of the medicinal plants, how or on what ground our acharyas or whatever you say, Aptavachana have been mentioned. Thank you for everybody sparing valuable time, and you now in this episode you will come to know how to identify Aparajita. Contact for classes, exclusively online classes on weekend days, especially on Sundays. L.N.Ayurvedic online tuitions, Dr. Simhadri, 9014141722, 9014141722. Thank you.